Are you searching for a therapist? I'm Coach Hadassah, metaphysician, minister, emotional health and wellness coach, helping you to navigate this healing space from narcissistic abuse. So, if you are in the market for a therapist, first of all, I want to say congratulations. That is one of the first steps in your self care. All right, because you need to care for yourself and you need to regulate your nervous system and rewire it all over again. And of course, your therapist can help you do that. However, I want you to make sure that you vet your therapist. Don't just go to anybody. All right. That's like, let's say you need dental work, but then you go and find a podiatrist. They work on the feet. Like, don't do that. Okay. You want to make sure that the therapist that you are working with is experienced. They are well versed in narcissistic abuse. Okay. Now, you have to think that this is an end time epidemic. And although it's been festering, I mean, narcissistic personality disorder, it's not new. It's just that term is new. It's a new term. However, this type of behavior has been going on since biblical days, since before biblical days, to be honest. All right. However, in these end times, and just like in end times before, it must be exposed. And so that's the time that we're in. We're in a time where it's being exposed. And there are those who have been harmed by it. You may you may have been conditioned because maybe one or both of your parents were undiagnosed, an undiagnosed NPD. You may have encountered a significant other or spouse with undiagnosed NPD. You may be in a work environment with higher up or a boss that is undiagnosed NPD. You may have a long-term friend or something like that, right? A family system, undiagnosed NPD. And you just always knew that something wasn't quite right, but you couldn't put your finger on it or whatever, and you suffered that. And now that is being exposed, and you know that there is help and support that is available to you, you are out here searching and seeking, um, again, the help and the support. And there are therapists that are out here. And the reason why they even became therapists is because they have had experience with it themselves. But there are some therapists, that's not to say that they're not good therapists, but they just have not experienced themselves narcissistic abuse. So they may not know how to handle it the way that they need to handle it, with compassion, with empathy, not enabling, not to get you to stay in like victimhood and victim mode, because that's not what we want to do at all. Okay, this is not about you being a victim, staying a victim. This is about you healing and moving forward and having the proper boundaries and all of that, the awareness, making sure that you do not neglect your voice and your intuition, because you know that that's what happened, right? You know that that's what the gaslighting is. That's what the gaslighting is all about. It's like, oh, this person is on to me. How do they even know? How do they even see that I'm doing such and such and so on? So let me do, the 1 2 magic trick. And now you doubting yourself and you're second guessing, because you're like, well, how do I even know what it is that I know without like proof, facts, evidence? But then of course the proof, facts, and evidence show up. All right. And you're even wondering why. How you know is because, look, the powers that be are helping you. That's why. Okay. And when you have therapists and coaches that understand this dynamic, and what you've gone through. They know how to handle you, right? They know how to um care for you in moving forward with your healing. Okay. And the rewiring of your nervous system, your psyche, right, which is your soul, will, mind, emotions, again, with compassion, but helping you to move forward. And again, there are not a lot of therapists. There are therapists are good, they're good at what they do, but they may not be the therapist for you in this regard. So you vet them. Well, how do you vet them? Well, you just simply ask the question. You know, I'm dealing with narcissistic abuse, and are you experienced in it? What's their body of work? You know, like I was a former hairstylist, right? Former licensed cosmetologist. And, people wanted to see my work. So what I did, I had pictures. Here's my album, my photo album. It was photo albums back then. But here's my body of work. I did this person's hair, this, that, and the other. And you see the body of work, and it's like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, I want you to do same thing. Where's the body of work? The people that they have helped, that to navigate this space, and they got better, and they helped them. That's what you need to do, because I have seen too many times where there are some therapists, like I said, good at what they do, but they're not well versed in this space. And you have to think that, like, yeah, they're therapists, but they're making money as well, right? And you don't need to be the guinea pig in this instance. Therapists are human too. Okay, they are human. They can make mistakes, and they can make some bad choices, and they can make some bad decisions when it comes to their you know patients. And I have seen a few that I wouldn't recommend to anybody. I'm gonna give you a resource right now. If you don't know, Dr. Romney, find her on TikTok. She's definitely on YouTube. A host of videos. Let that be your number one resource to understand narcissistic personality disorder and narcissistic abuse, and how to navigate it. And she has a book. As a matter of fact, I have if this chat, never mind. But I have she has a couple of books, but the latest one is called "It's Not You." Go ahead, cop that book. And like, she has some other ones as well. Find them on Amazon. Go there on Amazon, get the books, order them, read them, do all of that stuff. This is a time where start to you have to get a support system. If you want me to be a part of your support system, make sure you book a session. But you now have to build a support system around you. Okay. And I'm a resource. Dr. Romney is an expert in this field, and she is one that has experienced narcissistic abuse as well. And this is why she's so great at what she does. And there are a host of others as well. And then there are some self-aware narcissists. You want to listen to what they have to say too, because they're telling you from the perspective of a narcissist. However, again, vet your therapist, because this is about you being healed and whole, moving forward with the proper boundaries, and just making a better way of life for yourself. And if you have any children or anything like that, your family as well. So take care. See you next time.